and welcome back to April's Cozy Corner. Grab your tea, your coffee, and your favorite blanket, and let's get cozy. Today, I want to talk about something that many people carry quietly, something that often goes unspoken but affects the way we see ourselves every day. I want to talk about 4C hair, not just the hair itself, but the feeling attached to it, the comparisons, the pressure, the comments. The years spent wondering if our hair would ever be easier, prettier, more manageable, or more accepted if it looked different. For many people with 4C hair, the journey isn't just about hair. It's about identity. It's about self-worth. It's about learning how to see beauty in yourself when the world keeps trying to convince you to look like someone else. Most children aren't born disliking their hair. They aren't born comparing curl patterns. They aren't born believing that one texture is better than another one. Those ideas are taught, sometimes intentionally, sometimes accidentally. Many of us can remember being little and hearing comments like, "Your hair is so hard to comb. Your hair is so thick. Your hair is so nappy. Your hair takes too much work." And maybe nobody meant to hurt us. Maybe they were frustrated. Maybe they were repeating what they heard growing up. Maybe they were carrying their own insecurities. But children don't hear frustration. Children hear truth. And when a child repeatedly hears that something about them is difficult, they often begin to believe that they are difficult. When a child repeatedly hears that their hair is a problem, they may begin to believe that they are the problem. That belief can follow us for years, sometimes decades. Comparison has a strange way of stealing joy. It doesn't matter what you're comparing: hair, money, relationship, or success. Comparison always whispers the same message. You would be enough if you were more like someone else. But that message is a lie. Many people with 4C hair spend years comparing themselves to looser curl patterns. They scroll through social media. They watch tutorials. They see curls that seem effortless. Hair that falls differently. Hair that behaves differently. And slowly they begin asking themselves, why doesn't my hair do that? Why isn't my hair like hers? Why is my hair so different? But what if the problem isn't your hair? What if the problem is comparison? A flower does not become less beautiful because it doesn't look like a rose. The ocean doesn't become less powerful because it doesn't look like a river. The moon doesn't apologize for not being the sun. Everything in nature has its own design, its own purpose, its own beauty. And yet, human beings often spend years wishing they were something they were never meant to be. One of the hardest parts about having 4C hair isn't the maintenance, it's the pressure. The pressure to make it more acceptable. The pressure to make it look less like itself. The pressure to fit into spaces that were never designed with us in mind. For generations, people were taught that professionalism looked a certain way, beauty looked a certain way, femininity looked a certain way, and often those standards left very little room for tightly coiled hair. So many people learned to hide, to straighten, to cover, and to alter, not because they hated themselves, but because they wanted acceptance. And that's a painful thing to realize. Sometimes we weren't trying to become someone else. We were simply trying to belong. One of the most healing moments in many natural hair journeys happens when the goal changes. Instead of trying to force our hair to become something else, we begin to learn what it already is. We become curious, we stop fighting, and we start listening. We learn what moisture is like, what styles protect it, what products work, what products don't. And something beautiful happens. The relationship changes because acceptance often begins with understanding. The things we understand tend to become less intimidating, less frustrating, less overwhelming. Sometimes self-love starts with simply paying attention. Somewhere along the way, many people started believing they had to earn beauty. If they lost weight, if they grew their hair long, if they changed their appearance, or if they became more attractive, then they would finally deserve confidence. But confidence doesn't work that way. Because if confidence is built on conditions, it can always be taken away. Real confidence begins when you realize your worth existed before the transformation, before the hairstyle, before the compliments, before the validation. You are valuable before any of those things happen, and you remain valuable even when they don't. Whether we realize it or not, the way we talk about ourselves teaches other people how to see themselves, especially children. When a child constantly hears negative comments about their hair, they often learn to see their hair through the same lens. But when they hear words of acceptance, pride, and appreciation, something different happens. They begin to understand that beauty comes in many forms, that their texture isn't something to hide, that they don't need to become someone else to be worthy. Sometimes healing isn't just about changing the way we see ourselves. Sometimes it's about breaking cycles. It's about deciding that the negative messages stop with us. It's about choosing self-acceptance even when it feels unfamiliar, because every time we choose kindness toward ourselves, we make it easier for someone else to do the same. And maybe that's one of the most powerful things we can leave behind. Not perfect hair, not perfect appearance, but the belief that we were always enough exactly as we are. If you spent years struggling with your hair, if you spent years wishing you looked different, if you spent years feeling frustrated every time you looked in the mirror, I want you to remember something. Your hair does not need to become someone else's texture to be beautiful. It does not need permission to exist. It does not need approval to be worthy. 4C hair is enough, not because it is perfect, not because it is easy, not because everyone will understand it, but because it is yours. And there is something powerful about finally allowing yourself to stop fighting what you are naturally given. Maybe the goal was never to have different hair. Maybe the goal was to see your own beauty clearly. And maybe that journey starts today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Embrace what makes you unique. And remember that there is beauty in being exactly who you are. Thank you for spending this time with me in April's Cozy Corner. If you like more reflections, encouragement, and cozy conversations, I'd love to connect with you over on Instagram. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one.